Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and this is going to be my team builder for week 1 of the UBL, the Ultimate Battle League. We are going up against Frosted and her Copenhagen Sawsbucks this week. Frosted's not a person that I was familiar with coming into the draft, but I've checked out her channel. She does a lot of EGC. She's been doing Draft League lately, and just for talking with her, she seems like a really good person. So I'm happy to have the opportunity to battle her. I'm glad that she was added to the UBL this season. She was not a Season 1 participant. And I think it's going to be a really good battle. I'm really excited about the team that I've built. Big shout-outs to the front office for all the assistants. Front office being folks like Bronson, Omega Jiltion, Josh Ultraplayer, Phantom Base, Tyler, Jacob as always, Sock, Confusion. So thanks to all those dudes. Also got some help jetting the team this week. I haven't fixed my DS since the most recent update. The most recent firmware update, so big thanks to Blue Rogue for genning my team. We're going to be battling in just a little bit here. And so let's go over her squad, and then we'll jump into the team of 6 that I've chosen to bring. So she has Mega Pidgeot, Ambipom, Espeon, Kartana, Tentacruel, Victini, Silvally, Rotom, Wash, Gudra, Piloswine, and Cradily. Keep in mind, that's not in the order that in which she drafted. It's just the order of speed tiers. So the fastest Mon is Mega Pidgeot, and so on and so forth. And so she did use her round 1 pick to get Victini, which is a pretty scary Mon, even though it's been sort of solved, I would say, since the beginning of like Draft League meta, maybe like 3 years ago. Back then, Victini was like definitely top tier. But I think most people know now that if you have like a bulky fire or a bulky dragon, especially if it's rocking Rocky Helmet, no pun intended, it can pretty well deal with Victini, especially if you can get up hazards. But that said, I'm not sleeping on Victini. Victini has the potential to run some kind of cute sets. I've had my fair share of troubles dealing with cute sets of Victini. Like Weakness Policy, whether it's with Flame Charge or Power Up Punch or Trick Room or anything like that. So it could definitely be annoying. I also mocked versus a very annoying version of Victini. It was like a Sub Will-O-Wisp, which totally negated my Druddigon. So I'm kind of scared about that. Other things that are annoying, Kartana, obviously very scary. Pretty fast, outspeeds a lot of my team. I think I have some pretty good preventative measures for preventing it to sweep. But we're going to have to play very carefully if she does choose to bring Kartana. Other things that are annoying, actually Gudra is kind of annoying. I don't have a ton of, it can pack good coverage moves for my best switch-ins to it. So like Heatran, it can very easily pack Earthquake, and then Togekiss can easily be hit by Ice Beam or Thunder Wave or Sludge Wave or whatever. Or sorry, not Thunder Wave, Thunderbolts. So it's going to be annoying for me to play around. I'm going to have to be very, very smart about that. And yeah, otherwise, like, I actually feel pretty good about the matchup. You look at her team, she does not have a dark type, so a mono psychic set of Necrozma can potentially be very good. The Lopunny switch-ins are pretty slim. Her best bet actually would be to bring like a Fizdef, Rocky Helmet, Victini, which I kind of doubt that she will. Maybe she'll bring yeah, I really don't know. She doesn't have like a good high jump kick switch in, to be honest. Besides that, like things like Espeon and Tentacruel that also resist just get blown back by you know, they really don't resist it. They take like 50% still from it, and then they'll just die to return because their physical defense stats not that good. Maybe it'll be like a psychic memory Silvally or like a fairy memory Silvally. But I think if she does that, then that's fine with me, because then that means that my Necrozma can sweep even better, because that means she's not bringing Dark Memory, if that makes sense. So, enough with the speculating. Let's now just go into the team that we've brought. And so, we do have a Shukaberry Heatran with our first pick here, and this EV spread is pretty methodical. So the main thing with this is that with this defense investment, we can actually take a +2 Sacred Sword from a speed boosting Kartana. And so that means that if it's a speed boosting Kartana, it's timid max speed with 21 IVs in attack. If we get that, then we do live that move. If it's not a timid, if it's a jolly set, then we will not live, but that means that it cannot be, it can be revenge killed by other members of my team. So I'm not super worried about that. I put enough speed on here for Rotom. in case we need it for some reason. Like, maybe we're at low health with our Heatran, and we want to get up Last Ditch Rocks if we outspeed a 0 speed Rotom. That'd be really nice. And then, yeah, just the rest went into special defense, basically. This is a really nice switch-in for Mega Pidgeot, for non-Earthquake Goodra, things like that. Even if those Pokemon are covering packing coverage for Heatran, we can hit them up with Toxic, and then survive thanks to our Shuka Berry, so that'll be really nice. And then, yeah, like having this Mon for Victini as well is extremely important. Victini doesn't really do that well versus Heatran unless it's packing Focus Blast or Hidden Power Ground. I could pack Focus Blast. Focus Blast isn't 100% accurate, though. Even with the Victory Star ability, it's only like 90% accurate, like 91% if I'm not mistaken. So maybe they won't want to bring that. Maybe she won't want to bring that. But yeah, I think Heatran is just going to be a really nice defensive pivot this week. And it's going to be really important to get up rocks with my Heatran, so that way I punish Victini, Pidgeot, things like that. Next, we do have Kanye, the Druddigon, with a Rocky Helmet. This is like in my mind, is like the classic Victini check. Big thanks to Lars, aka El Scizor, for popularizing Rough Skin Rocky Helmet. Druddigon versus Victini. He and Dan had multiple showdowns with those two Mons for multiple seasons. And so the moveset is Dragon Tail Pursuit, Superpower Facade. So if we have Druddigon in versus like a Scarf Victini that's going for U-turn, we'll do a ton of damage to it with Rough Skin Rocky Helmet. Pursuit does about 50% versus it. And then at that point, it's at like less than 25% health. So if I do get up rocks, it's dead to rocks. So that's really nice. Superpower is there just to hit things like Piloswine and Kartana. Dragon Tail is just for phasing in general because I don't believe she has a Fairy type. And so that can potentially be annoying. And then I kind of had an open slot in the last slot, so I decided to go Facade. Reason being, I mentioned in my mock versus Tyler, I got blown back by a Will-O-Wisp Victini. And so having Facade helps me deal with that sort of set a little bit. Because if it's like a Sub-Wisp, I'm just totally screwed with my Druddigon, and then it blows back my whole team. So that's quite nice. We have enough defense on here to take a +2 Adamant Smart Strike after Stealth Rocks from Kartana. And we do have enough speed on here for Piloswine plus a couple of points. So maybe we can catch that off guard and hit with a big superpower. We shall see if that works out. So let's now go to our next Mon, which is Togekiss. So we have a pretty normal looking Togekiss set this week. In my team builder, I talked a bit about how Togekiss is really versatile and has a lot of good movesets. This week in particular, I thought that this was probably the best moveset for Togekiss, just sort of the standard Paraflinch set. And so the reason that I wanted Togekiss, I guess there's two main reasons I wanted Togekiss, I'll say it that way. First, I wanted Defog, because Toxic Spikes can potentially be annoying for a lot of my team. And Rocks as well can be annoying for my team, just because Rocks are always annoying. So I wanted a Defogger. And then Wish I thought was really nice because it allows me to heal up my Heatran and my Druddigon, which otherwise don't have really good recovery on their own. And when I say that, I mean they literally have no recovery. So I can use Wish to pass into Druddigon, like if she wants to bring in Rotom on my Togekiss. Like Rotom is a pretty good switch into Togekiss because it's immune to Thunder Wave. And things like that. If she goes into like Piloswine to be immune to Thunder Wave, maybe I can then switch into my Shuka Berry Heatran, because there's like a 0% chance that she switches in, or she goes for Earthquake facing a Togekiss. So I can come in on like a Ice hit, resist that, and then get healed up, and then I can either set up Rocks or go for Lava Plume or whatever. Whatever I think is best in that situation. So I think Wish is really, really good here. And then Thunder Wave Air Slash I decided I would go for just because Thunder Wave is so annoying for her team. Besides things like Rotom and also Piloswine, like I already mentioned those two, she doesn't have like a good Thunder Wave switch in, and so the things that she might like to switch in on Togekiss, maybe like Victini or whatever else, maybe even Tentacruel because it's pretty specially bulky. They don't appreciate being Thunder Waved, and then in combination with Wish, like Thunder Wave Air Slash gives me like a pseudo protect. So I can, like, kind of Wish Protect if the Pokemon is Thunder Waved, if that makes sense. Just because they have, like a 75% chance of being paralyzed or flinched. So it's like a 75% chance of getting off a Protect. and then you get the full benefit of your wish. So that's what the thinking is there. Speed is enough for Modest Gudra. If that lets me put enough into special defense that I can live 2 Modest Ice Beams from a Gudra. If it's not Modest, if it's timid, we won't outspeed, but she won't do a KO. And so then we can start going for like Thunderwave Air Slash stuff because we won't be 2 KO'd in that way. So I think it's a sense that actually makes sense in this situation. A lot of people will just brainlessly run Paraflinch Togekiss, but I think here it actually is pretty decent. So those are all of the sort of bulkier mons this week. Let's now go into the more offensive mons, and we're going to start with our Choice Scarf Diggersby. Daisy Dukes coming out for week 1. Pretty standard looking moveset. U-turn, Frustration, Earthquake, Fire Punch. Yeah, there's really not much to say here. We do outspeed a lot of the team here. It actually outspeeds Mega Pidgeot with the Scarf. We don't need to beat Jolly in order to do that. And she doesn't have any like slower Scarfers that I need to worry about, like speed creeping. Like the slowest, the thing below Diggersby on her team in terms of speed tier is Piloswine. So maybe I could have put enough on here for like a Modest Gudra and then run a Jolly Nature for that. But Gudra, I don't think she'll bring Scarf, so it's sort of a moot point. Unless I somehow get knocked off, but I think her only knockoff users are Ambipom and Tentacruel. But anyway, yeah, just there are no real good responses on her team to Diggersby, but that's not her fault. Like, there's no teams that have good answers to Diggersby, period. Like, it just blows things back. In the last slot, we decided to go with Fire Punch, just because, like, in case Kartana gets out of control, I wanted a guaranteed way to hit that for super effective damage and revenge kill it, unless she is some sort of Akaberry set. But if she's not Akaberry, or sorry, if she is Akaberry, that means that she's not Z or Life Orb or something like that, which means that my other Pokemon can deal with it a little bit better. So yeah, not much to say here. Should put in a lot of work. Next we do have our Lopunny, with a pretty standard looking set again, Fake Out, Frustration, High Jump Kick. In the last slot I put Retaliate. Just because in case I need to revenge kill something, Retaliate is really damn good versus her team. Like even like a physically defensive Rotom's taking like almost 80% from Retaliate from this spread. In my mock, I originally had a Adamant Lopunny with enough speed for a Pidgeot that was speed creeping Sneasel. But I decided that was too risky and that it'd just be safer to go for this EV spread that is guaranteed to outspeed a max speed timid Pidgeot. And then the rest just went into bulk, so it's not a very crazy EV set for that reason. But yeah, this Pokemon, if I can get prior damage on Rotom, if I can get prior damage on Victini, and probably on Gudra, I need maybe a little bit of tiny prior damage. This should just clean up in the late game. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, Lopunny, and glad to have you back on the team. Hopefully you get like 2 or 3 kills this game. Last but not least, I think is the set I'm most excited for this week, and that is a Rest, Calm Mind, Necrozma. It's actually Double Dance, Calm Mind with Rock Polish. And so, with Calm Mind and Rock Polish, that allows us to quickly get boosts to get stored power up to a lot of health. Or not a lot of health, a lot of base power. Why did I say health? Anyway, the special attack investment that we have here allows us to 2-shot an Assault Vest max HP Gudra after 2 Calm Minds and 1 Rock Polish, so 6 total boosts. 1 Rock Polish is enough to outspeed Scarf Ambipom, and then the move slot for Rest is pretty important, so I think Rest with Chesto Berry is really nice, because basically if we can get up a Rock Polish, we outspeed the entire team. Even if she wants to Toxic me with one of her Mons, I can then immediately rest that off, get healed with my Chesto Berry, and then hopefully I have enough Calm Minds that I'm roaring and ready to go with my Necrozma. So, yeah, the fact that there's no Psychic Resists is really, or sorry, no like Psychic Immunities means that this stored power set is really, really good. It blows back her only Psychic Resists like Kartana. Like Kartana just doesn't resist any special attack type attack. Espeon doesn't really scare Necrozma all that much, and as long as I'm out in front in terms of boosts, I should be able to kill it before it can kill me. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Those are the only things that are scary for Necrozma. I guess like a banded Victini or something can be annoying, because it can potentially take one stored power and then hit me with a very strong V-Create. But otherwise, this Necrozma set is like perfect for... to be fair, there's a lot of Necrozma sets that I could have run that would be basically perfect. Like Calm Mind Iron Defense also would have been great instead of Calm Mind Rock Polish. Like Swords Dance would have been great. But you know, I thought that this would be the most fun version because, you know, fast Necrozma I think is very fun. So that, ladies and gents, is going to be the team. It's a little longer than I had wanted to make it. It's like a 16-minute video. That's just kind of how I roll. My videos are always longer than I want them to be. But I hope you're looking forward to this battle, and I hope you're looking forward to this season. If you are, make sure you drop a like down below, and drop a sub to the channel so you can stay up to date on all my latest and greatest UBL action. So with that, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.